family first life. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This fighter stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighed in at 135 pounds. He represents Xtreme's Muay Thai with a mixed martial arts record of 3 wins and 3 defeats. He hails from Van Nuys, California. Please welcome Luke Duran.
Liking the energy in the building
and
already.
His opponent fighting out of the red corner stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighed in at 135 pounds. He represents the Universal Grappling Academy with a mixed martial arts record of 3 wins and 2 defeats. He hails from Victorville, California. Please welcome Anthony Scooter Whitfield. Your referee for this amateur bout is Jonathan Romero.
Pablo, you mentioned the energy in the room, and it is electric. It's gotten quiet right now, but I bet as soon as this bell rings and these dudes start throwing some leather, it's going to get loud in here.
And Lights Out 14 is underway. Whitfield Duran touching gloves. Whitfield fighting out of the red corner. The black trunks, the dreads flowing.
Great job of movement by Duran, trying to pump his jab out. You can see him.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Nice.
And Whitfield throws
right by
bombs.
Whitfield, and an exchange by both. And Duran ducking and weaving out of harm's way, but I like the exchange early. Whitfield hunting him down. Nice combo again by Whitfield.
Well, let's see if Duran almost gets under him and gets the takedown there, but bails on him. Duran trains at Saxon Muay Thai. You can see Georgie Garcia in his corner, who is a fantastic fighter who's fought around the world. But Saxon is definitely a Muay Thai-based gym, as you can see with this Thai clinch and knees here against the cage.
Yeah, in this corner yelling, knees, 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 and here come the knees, and the Muay Thai clinch is in solid. And Duran flinging those knees, and another one to the stomach.
Yeah, the Muay Thai clinch is such an effective control position where you can land brutal damage to your opponent's torso. As we saw Duran just do to Whitfield, Whitfield was finally able to time a knee and catch it for the takedown. However, he took 6, 7, 8 knees before that happened.
Yeah, and even the ones he blocked, you're still blocking a hard knee with your forearms.
Yeah, the thing about knee is it pretty much always wins. Whitfield needs to exact, needs to explode and drag that takedown, just like he did there. Duran did a great job of getting himself vertical again. Went back to the Thai clinch.
And he got him again, and that one connected as well. Whitfield breathing heavy after that knee.
I think Duran's being very smart right here by being patient, backing up, and now looking for some straight strikes.
Oh, good low kicks by both. Nice combination by Whitfield. Now looking for another takedown, and he gets it.
Whitfield's 2 for 2 were takedowns against the cage thus far. I'd like to see Duran do a better job of angling out when there's forward pressure from Whitfield. Whitfield here needs to grab that wrist so that he's able to put Duran flat on his side. As long as that hand is on the ground, it's keeping him up vertical in a position where he's going to be able to stand up.
In a weird way, a good round for both because Duran caused some damage with the knees. Whitfield got his takedowns. Who do you think did enough to steal this round from the judges?
You know, we're going to have to see this next 45 seconds for me to have a decisive decision on that. We got the better of the strike of Duran thus far, the better of the control by Whitfield. A little more damage for Duran, a little more control time for Whitfield. It's really what the judges are seeing. We got 30 seconds left for one of these guys to let the judges know who thinks it round it was.
Whitfield keeps going forward. Big haymaker that misses high and outside.
Whitfield starts to seem like he's finding his rhythm and his range. I'd like to see him start setting those shots up. He has a great shot, but if he hides it behind a punch or two, he won't get his arms stuck like this or wrapped up as much because he'll be able to get deeper.
They call him Scooter. I wasn't expecting so many takedown attempts from Whitfield. And that's a fun first round, getting Lights Out Xtreme Fighting 14 underway. I am Pablo Alcina, alongside Blake Bulletproof Troop. Make sure to find us on social media. Tell us you watched, send us messages, and we like to respond to everybody who writes to us. So feel free to reach out. Let's go to the highlights. Fun first round, Blake.
It was a great first round. We saw Whitfield continually trying to pressure Duran against the cage. This was that wild exchange in the opening seconds where both guys were banging on each other. They got caught against cage several times. This was in my opinion, was Duran's biggest moment of the round, was this Muay Thai clinch and landing repetitive knees to the body.
Good knees, the Muay Thai. There a couple are blocked, but a bunch are going straight in to that sternum.
Yeah, so it was a very close round. I'm a bigger fan of damage than control time, so I would give a slight edge to Duran. 10-9, Duran, as we go into the second round.
Even with all the takedowns.
That's one of the tough things. It's a very subjective thing. It's not like basketball where we have a score to look at. My objective or subjective opinion is Duran won that round, not by a whole lot. And I could see it being judged the other way.
I agree with you. I think in my eye, Duran won it, but I think in the judges' eyes, they might have given it to Whitfield just because he finished on top at the end. He had the takedowns. But that's why there's always 3 judges. And another 2,000 around the cage. Nice combination again, low kick by Whitfield.
You can really see Duran sitting down and trying to bomb back on these haymakers when they start to exchange. You see him dropping his weight down again there, where when you really sit on your punches, it adds a significant amount of power to those strikes.
Whitfield keeps haunting him down, keeps backing up against the fence, but this time hasn't been able to connect on those punches.
See, once Whitfield gets inside, if he even throws a little bit of hands like in a fainting way, like he's pretending to, then fires a shot exactly like that. Hide the shot behind his hands. Duran was ready for it and almost caught him with a knee in the head, but that is exactly what I think Whitfield needs to do more of if he wants to continue to get these takedowns. And instead of grinding here, I'd like to see him clasp his hands between the legs of Duran and just lift him up and dump him.
Whitfield responding now with some knees of his own, but a big gash on Duran.
That is a big cut above the right eye of Duran. I'm not entirely sure when that happened in the last 30 seconds.
Was there a head clash maybe? Because I don't remember a punch connecting.
You know, when they're in the pocket banging like this, it's absolutely possible. Great job by Whitfield there, I think, trying to escape the exchange and bailing on the exchange and going for the takedown.
Yeah, and now the eye test is putting Whitfield ahead in this round. You see heavy breathing from Duran, a big gash in the blood and the mouth opening to breathe. And now, interesting position here. Does he have any kind of a choke from there, Blake? No.
No, so if I were Whitfield, I'd just kind of sprawl down on the guy and squish him. Make him struggle to breathe, make him hate life,
and
not want to be in
down.
that position. Yeah, I wouldn't even look for a quote-unquote submission here. I would be riding my opponent ruthlessly right now.
The words from Blake Bulletproof Troop, professional MMA fighter. How many pro fights did you have, Blake?
14 professional MMA fights, and my 15th one was supposed to be the main event for Lights Out Xtreme Fighting 5, fight for the heavyweight belt. Unfortunately, COVID changed that, but who knows what the future holds, Pablo.
Who knows? Plenty of time still left. 28 seconds to go in this second round.
Here's this eye clinch again, but we don't see Duran get himself off the cage in a position where he can utilize it for his striking offense.
Second round all for Whitfield in my book.
Yeah, I would definitely say Whitfield has started to get into second gear and taking this fight handily.
Low kick. Yes, they wear protective gear, but still hurts.
Yeah, it'll still rock your world a little bit, getting hit in the protective equipment. I think that this was a very good moment for Duran. He looked like he was starting to be out of breath when he was on the bottom against the cage. It almost looked like he looked up in a tired, not wanting to be there type expression on his face. He's got several minutes now, up to 5 minutes to recover now from this accidental groin strike, which will, in my opinion, give him a significant amount of time to recover his breathing.
And there's only a couple seconds left to go in the round, so then he'll have a more extended break in between rounds as well. Shame for Whitfield, he was really controlling the fight. But hey, you got to watch those low kicks.
Yeah, you know, I don't think that it's going to change much of the momentum at the moment. Oh, there we go, into the second round. I would give that round 10-9 to Whitfield. Very, very decisive.
Highlights all one way. It was Scooter Whitfield doing most of the damage.
There was that knee. I was saying that Scooter needed to hide his takedowns behind his hands, and Duran was waiting for that time. This is some more of that wild banging in the pocket. You can almost see that might have been where the cut got opened up. We see fresh blood running down the face of Duran here. And Whitfield back to those takedowns against the cage, which were really the story of round number 2. Whitfield looks very fresh sitting on the bench right there, listening to his coaches, looking around. Duran looks exhausted, hands up on his coach. Not that he's out of this fight, but fatigue is one of the worst things to have when you're inside of the cage. They say fatigue makes cowards out of men. It's much harder to implement your offense, and it's much easier, in my opinion, to break someone when they're exhausted. And here we go for our third and final round in the opening matchup here at Lights Out Xtreme Fighting 14.
Whitfield, as he has done most of the fight, going forward. Duran stepping side to side, except for a brief moment of 30 seconds of Muay Thai clinch and knees. Very little from Duran since.
Yeah, I'd like to see Duran maybe start pumping out his jab
There
or
we
his
go.
cross.
Good strong body kick blocked by Whitfield, but that was something different from Duran.
So Duran is continually fading to his right-hand side for the majority of the time, which is just outside of Whitfield's lead leg, which is a much safer place to be. Whoa, nice leg kick there. But fading outside your opponent's lead leg is a much safer place to be than fading towards their rear hand.
Whitfield responding with a strong kick of his own. These are just 3-minute rounds, so time running out on Duran.
Yeah, I'd like to see Whitfield. I think Whitfield can get a finish in the next 90 seconds if he continues the pressure and starts really trying to put Duran away.
Muay Thai clinch working again for Duran. A couple body blows got through for Whitfield.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him disengage from that Muay Thai clinch. We saw him disengage at the end of the second round. He looks like he's looking for a left high kick. We saw him throw that switch kick up at the beginning of the round. It wouldn't surprise me if he believes that he can land a big left head kick and put his opponent's lights out.
Again, the mouth opening for Duran. Looks a little bit more tired than Whitfield, who's moving around great.
Yeah, it's almost been constant pressure from Whitfield, who's now feinting from the outside, looking for his openings, being patient and not just rushing in recklessly. But I'd like to see him hit the gas a little harder here and look for a finish in these closing minutes.
Ooh.
There it is, another big takedown probably for Whitfield. I'd like to see him take him for a ride. Whoa, and we see blood now on Whitfield's face. Is that blood that has come down from Duran, or is there a fresh cut on his face? Hard to tell. I'd like to see Whitfield yank his opponent's hips away from the wall, which would put Duran's back flat on the mat. If he gets his back flat on the mat, it'll be significantly easier for him to land some strikes or get behind and finish with a choke.
There's heavy blood on the foot also. I think it's the same cut from Duran that opened up more. Or is Whitfield bleeding?
It looks like it's on Duran's back.
Yeah, it might be Whitfield bleeding.
Whitfield is leaking. You can see it coming out his head right here where we are.
Right in front of us, but we can't quite see.
Yeah, Whitfield now has both hooks, and I'd like to see him get double underhooks on the arms and try and flatten his opponent out. If he flattens him out, he might be able to land some big ground and pound strikes and finish this fight.
Final 10 seconds. The cut is over Whitfield's eyebrow. His right eyebrow. Big gash for Whitfield. But he's holding on, trying to win this fight any way he can.
Oh, and he's looking for that leg submission, hamstring stretch there in the closing seconds of the round. We're going to a decision, but those dudes just came out and scrapped.
What a fun